So besides planting seeds today, I also trimmed these bushes so that they weren't hanging over the mound so much. They were really within arm's reach of standing on the mound. So I pulled them down and cut them. They'll allow a lot more sunlight to the back part of this mound, which is good. Anyway, I'll show you the top view of what I've done today, which is not a whole lot of digging, but I was planting seeds, which is actually very time consuming if you want to do it correctly. Last week I had gone to just about right off of this hazelnut tree, so right down there, see where the dry spot is? I guess that'd be right to the left side of the screen. And so I dug only about 10 more feet, and this is the dry spot here, so that's how much I dug up. Quite a lot of dirt, really. It's May 5th, 2016. It rained a lot last night, so my trench over there, the swale, has some standing water in it. Maybe only a few millimeters deep. On the other side there, I'm not going to show you, it's just a big puddle, so I can't really dig more up here today. But one thing I can do is, I've noticed from a distance, and maybe I'll show you that now, that this part where I've put a few sticks and some, looks like some bark, is lower than the rest of the mound. Not just because I've piled up this new stuff, but just it's a natural dip that I never filled in very well last year. And so I want to put some more sticks and branches up there with the intention of covering it up maybe later this week. Anyway, today's slug and snail collection method brought to you by Mountain Dew and sushi. Yes, I am using chopsticks. I'm not very good with chopsticks. However, yes, I got you. That is what I'm doing. Oh, there's a little slug here. Oh, nice. You can see my peas are coming up here. I dropped tons and tons of peas in this area. Many of them way too close together. That's why they're all bunched up. But I mean, there were peas everywhere in this patch. But the pheasants keep kicking the dirt off the top, and they ate a lot of them, of course, but they didn't get all of them, it looks like. So I bet I planted 200 peas there to get about 10-15 plants. Okay, I'm in a different location. Here's a log that I sawed some logs off a long time ago because it was old rotted wood and just perfect for the mound, and I drug them way over to the mound. Part of this log is almost underground over there, and then it goes up to there, and there's a big pile of stuff that I just put a bunch of lots of wood, some really spongy logs of wood that I had that I couldn't burn very well, so I just decided to use them in this little Hugelkultur mound here. This is going to be for pumpkins. This is a tiny little spot here that's open to the sun a lot, and I'm going to cover it with dirt here this morning and plant pumpkins on it, and hopefully they'll start before the slugs eat them all. Anyway, that's my plan. It's a very small mound. I'm going to put more dirt on top in a minute, but I've covered up most of the wood. Just a few tiny corners are showing right now. There's a lot of loose earth in the swale still. The log continues out this way. I might saw that off later, but for now I'm just going to leave it. And it of course continues up there to the old dead tree where it fell from, but it's like a turtle shell. You can see if you get the whole contraption in. I'm going to cover this right now with pumpkin seeds and all kinds of other little seeds, and then bury the rest. So here goes. This is overseeding. There are onion bulbs I didn't even care how I put them down. I was that lazy. Probably several hundred pumpkin seeds, white beans, brown beans, and about 8 potatoes. And on top I'm going to spread bird seed just so it grows some sort of grass cover on top. Anyway, that's what it's looking like right now. Not too bad. So I'm going to use all the dirt in the swale here to cover up the top, and I'll show you what that looks like when I'm finished. Anyway, this was about an hour build so far is all, and feeling pretty good about that. Okay, back to work. Alright, so this is finished. I'll just scatter some birdseed on the top right before I leave. It's getting sunlight on both sides of the mound here. It's one big, fat little hill. Oh, I see a pea that I didn't get covered. There we go. So, gets lots of sunlight here, which is good. And it's not too far of a walk from my other mound. I'm going to leave it exposed like this for a few days. Let the sun heat up this earth, let it dry out a bit. And I'll probably put a layer of piles of dead sticks that I put in kind of a compost hill last year with leaves and stuff, and I'll spread that over the top maybe later this week. But let the mound heat up and cap off the top later. Anyway, I'm going to sprinkle some bird seed on top of this, and that's the extent of today's work. That's all I'm doing today. Can't work in my own mound because it's too muddy in the swale. So, alright, that's all for now. Here it is again. So, yeah, it looks alright. A little bit too much bird seed in one spot here. I can just like that and spread it out. Okay, perfect. Alright, that'll grow. We'll see if we can get any pumpkins out of a different spot this year. It's May 13th. I'm so behind in my work. I guess 2 days, well, within 1 or 2 days of today, 2 years ago, on the same day, Sunday, I had experienced the flood already, and most of this whole mound was destroyed. It was as if the pride of man, after doing something that he thought was great, was instantly washed away in one quick week, and I had to rebuild. But honestly, that flood really made this place solid because it pushed all those big blocks of earth that I had thrown on this thing and settled it down through the cracks in the wood and filled in the sides better. And so when I rebuilt last year, I filled in all those cave-in holes, and right now this year I'm pretty much just sealing off the top. The problem I'm having though is, of course, predation, and I'm not sure if it's a squirrel or cuckoo birds or blackbirds or God knows, maybe pheasants. Of course, there's pheasants all over the place here. That they typically go in on the edge here and start digging on the edge, and they keep excavating further and further in until it gets too big of a pain in the butt for them to scrape like 4 inches. After a very long time of selective pruning and cutting, I have finished the garden as much as I can. The chocolate mint is too thick in there to cut through the grass. There's some garlic growing next to a Jerusalem artichoke and some peas over there. And a lot more Jerusalem artichoke down the side. A lot more peas on the top. We've got lots of visible flaxseed growing on the top here. You can still see the places I didn't fill in the holes, but it's looking alright. Cut down a lot. This is going to attract a lot of slugs to the mound when they smell the rotting stuff, but I hope there's enough pumpkin underneath there to sprout again this year. It's getting kind of sketchy whether or not I'm going to have any pumpkins. Very difficult in this slug-fested slug infested mound. Anyway, I'll show the outside in a minute. Here's what I found after I trimmed everything down and chopped and dropped. Here's my blackberry from the summer. It's completely choked out by weeds. That's why it didn't grow very well, but it's still alive. 1, 2, 3 potato plants right here. 1, 2, 3 still standing. Might have missed a couple small ones that I don't see. Moving on here. Okay, there's potato and potato, potato and potato, 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 thistle up there. I left the thistle alone. I left another thistle further. Potato, potato, horseradish on the bottom. More potatoes here. Then we have peas and peas and peas and horseradish. Horseradish standing there. I had some corn growing last week, and I think the mice dug it all up. It was all along that edge where you can see they've chopped it up. Had lots of corn and other stuff growing. They've dug it all out of the edge there. So
this is May 2016. I don't know if it's like the 20th or 21st, 2nd or 3rd, 4th or 5th. I don't remember. I've got a tent. I'm staying outside tonight and grilling my kielbasa. It's about, I suppose, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. I've got a few hours left of sunlight. I haven't done any work on the garden today, just set up the camp. I'm going to stay out here for like 3 days without going home. I hope none of the natives bother me. We're going to see what happens. My voice is a bit hoarse. I don't know why. I haven't spoken all day. This is the first time I've spoken since like 6 o'clock this morning, so I haven't talked to anybody. And just grilling my kielbasa. I've got 12 liters of water, about 6 or 7 beers, and a bunch of food, so I can live out here for a few days and just see how it goes. I hope there's no wild boar going to attack me in the middle of the night, but I do have knives and I have my hatchet, and I just actually oiled the handle of my hatchet there. That's why it's all dark and black. I'm going to let it sit there for a day and a half in the sun, soak up that oil, because I did it with linseed oil last year, and I figure vegetable oil this year is no different than linseed oil, really. It'll soak it up. So that's good. It'll taste or smell like French fries, I suppose. That's from my French fry boiler. Anyway, I got a big mess to clean up before I go to bed, but just gonna fry some kielbasa and eat something and mess around in the garden a bit and go to bed. Wake up early tomorrow morning with the sun and go to work. That's my plan.